Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dwarven Tavern. Tonight, we are going to be talking about more about the the ship. After I gleaned some more information from Ian, the Dungeon Master. So let's get right to that. Okay, so here we go. Um, what we have here is, sorry about that confusion. I was in the wrong thing there for a minute, but I am back. And here we have what I did, I believe it was yesterday, with the engineering room one. Okay, well, as it turns out, I got with the game master. Now, I agree. He should have done the map, but he doesn't have programs, um, so I'm kind of blessed and stuck with the job of doing it. So, what we have here is engineering room one, which is wrong. So, I have to redo that, which I have every intention of doing. And so, let's take a look here at the whole of the ship, and you can see that I kind of put the two different spaces in their approximate, where I thought their approximate position on the ship would be, and kind of gonna kind of build the rest of the ship around it. Um, I believe he wants the ship to be 800 feet long, which this particular program does not account for that kind of length. So there's a couple of things that we can do to get around that when mapping, and one is the wavy line that cuts out the uh, the length in the middle that doesn't have any different from the beginning or the end. Um, I'm not really sure what the architectural term for that is, but it is if you've got 5 miles of like sewer pipe, and you've got this thing at the beginning and this thing at the end, you don't necessarily have to come up with 5 miles of drafting paper to or even whatever, if it's cut down to 16 to 1, 1/16 of 5 miles, which is still a pretty long piece of paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on the rear, or the aft of the ship, and the fore, which I did find the most wonderful thing about Dungeon Painter Studio. Aside from the fact that it's in its beta, it's an early release. Um, excuse me. Uh, the thing that's probably one of the coolest features is the fact that it's on Steam, and the Steam community is just like what I said last night, or in the last video, which happened to be last night. I said, yeah, there's no captain shares in this, and I looked at some of the mods online, and one of the mods that I had installed was this one particular guy that had this uh, basically this captain share, and I wanted to show it to you before I uh, replaced it. This console um, is let's see, this This throne was what I put in, and alas, that is not what is needed. Um, it is in fact a captain's chair, which I'm going to delete that throne, which was cool and all, but the captain is not a king, even though he kind of is. Um, and this guy is also wrong. So we're going to remove that. And if you remember, or if you didn't see it, um, this is an alien. It's an alien technology that is powering the AI that runs this. That is actually giving commands and communicating with home, with back on base, back at the home station. So this is actually uh, the new captain seat in this bridge, or the pilot's seat. And I found out that the bridge is going to be a wee bit larger than what I have here. So I'm going to take and I'm going to expand that. And it's a fun learning thing because I don't know exactly how hard or how easy it's going to be to adjust the size of this. And so when I talked to Ian about it, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Um, when I talked to Ian about it, he said that the bridge should be deeper from this side this way, and it should be a bit wider. So I'm going to lengthen it and widen it. So here we go. So the scaling of this part should be fairly easy. I'm going to continue to stick it to the grid, okay, which leaves our walls a bit, uh, our bulkhead, um, it leaves it a bit to be desired. So I'm going to give it one of those. Now our angles are nice and, well, sort of. I could do it this way until we've got corner to corner going on there, which that looks cool, I believe. So I'll go ahead and escape out of that, and we'll keep the bridge at that size. Now this I'm also going to scale. We're going to see how easily done that is. Pretty easy. Um, okay, escape. Now I'm just going to move the door, allow half. I'm going to put the door in. Ah, that's an irritating thing. The zoom, and I don't know if there is a way that I don't think I can zoom into selection. I don't think that's a thing. But like I said, this is early access, so I'm sure it's. I'll put that above the bulkhead so it shows the door. And there we go. Zoom into that, and so I'm gonna unstick it and put that bulkhead right there. And hi Xena. Ouch. She likes to sharpen on my tough and leathery flesh, apparently. Um, so, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the Taboo Tech and grab the appropriate panel, which is the panel, and I'm going to put in a stick to grid. So hard to remember for some reason, and I didn't know why. A stick to grid thing, and I'm going to put it under the bulkhead. Remember, whatever you have highlighted here in the list of walls, or on the list of layers, everything has its own layer. So everything that's under the layer will be highlighted. So if you say, oh, which panel is that? You just go over here, you mouse over all of the various things, object display, bang, there you go. So got that. And I'm going to take and I'm going to move the captain's chair back a little bit and give everybody some elbow room. And then a right click is a move. And I believe with this, we can put various, we got room for various displays and the like all around the thing. Now, here's what I was going to tell you, because the last time there was, I couldn't find a destroyed, any kind of explosion damage, right? If you remember, or if you didn't see it. I couldn't find any kind of explosion damage. There were no like windows, um, and I still don't think there's windows. There's different various walls and such, but I couldn't find any windows. There was no explosion damage. I had to kind of play with one of the just a straight up ellipse, and to get at that blue color from the alien thing. So I went looking on the workshop after I finished up with the stream, and found uh, a very cool, uh, well, not a very cool, an incredibly awesome set of collection of tile sets, and this is not just one set, but there's a bunch. Um, well, not a bunch like millions or hundreds, but there are dozens of incredibly cool tile sets out there that, and this is what I was talking about, the Steam community, the users thereof, um, they just, oh, you don't have a captain's chair? Well, captain's chair, like a magic. Um, and that's the thing I love about these guys. They all um, they all and it it could be for uh, the sake of getting a job. Maybe if you do well, um, you'll you will get hired. A lot of people have done that, and that's perfectly fine. It's kind of like a working resume, and this is what I've done, so hire me. Uh, which I think it's wonderful. It's and I've always believed that there's a principle of psychology that says that the whole resume concept is it's moot and inaccurate, because people say whatever they want on resumes, but the actual proof is in the pudding. It's the truth, and it's very accurate. When you want to see how someone's going to do on a job, you put them on a job. You don't listen to what they say. You don't listen to what their friends say. I can get, I could, at a moment's notice, I could probably think of 4 or 5 people and say, I'm a great guy. So, the actual proof is putting them on a job. And what better proof is there than this actually seeing the work? Um, so I found just a whole bunch of various tile sets from which to choose, which I'm going to go over some of them. One is the Tops collection. The sci-fi and modern settings pack is simply amazing for various things, and they all specialize. The 2-minute tabletop stuff is great. I got the Builders Pack, the FA Builders Pack. Um, and this whole thing I'm doing, I'm looking for perhaps some kind of a window or some kind of a view screen. Somebody even put in Pathfinder objects. The Tubabu Babu. Yeah, no. The P Taboo Tech. I don't know why it's so hard to say. Um, has some really cool neon trim. So I'm going to pop that in there and see how that looks. Maybe give it a shadow effect, short shadow, a bevel, long shadow. That actually looks pretty cool. Um, and I think that will work just fine. Yeah, that looks fine as a window. So, what do you think? I think so. So yeah, there's that. And so I will leave that. That is not. Yeah, I think that'll work. Um, then in that same arena, I'm going to select the bulkhead and give it a shadow also. I love the 3D effect that the shadows give, and it also brings stuff out. Now, it depends on if it's a middle shadow or a long shadow or whatever. Um, it's up to you. It's all up to you. It's aesthetic, happy little spaceship. Um, so we got trim 2, trim 3. I think I used what, trim 5. So let's find out, shall we? Yeah, trim 5 with a long shadow for the screen. Okay, so there's our bridge, newly expanded. Um, looks good. I don't know why it doesn't zoom where I want it to, but maybe, let's see. Let me select that and zoom. No, still didn't do it. Weird. Okay, well, that's. I'm actually going to write that down. I'm going to put that in my list of suggestions, and hopefully the developers are they catch this, and my uh, my semi competent uh, assessment of things. So um, I'm going to put down zoom on uh, or zoom to object needed. And it might be a function that's already in there. It may be, I don't know. It may be not. If it is in there, then I will find it, but I'm going to communicate with them, and then, I'll probably get back. I'll get back with them. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other thing that I found out was the main engineer room, the engineering suite, it's enormous because it's the engineering section of an entire freighter. So, and then I was told that the engineering section was right in front of the engines because it's engine earring, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom out here, and I'm gonna grab this guy, and I'm gonna group it, and then I'm gonna move it to up here. That doesn't mean that this part is now up here next to this part. It means that this part is out of the way for a moment. Then I'm going to grab some objects. Now the P Tubabu, God, the P Taboo Tech has barrels. It has bodies, which is really cool. It's kind of like tokens, but not. It's got all kind of modern A ton of them. Didn't really look at them all that much. Um, and boxes, consoles, freaking awesome. This guy, whoever did the P Taboo tech, and I will find out who did that. Here, there's a mods button, and version 5 of P Taboo tech. I just want to say good job, modder, and I'll find out. I made a note of that. I'll find out who made that, and I will extol their virtues and get them a little bit of attention because they did a good job, put a lot of work into that. So, too much does it come to pass that people who are talented get overlooked in place of people who are popular. Um, and I believe that that is just a damn shame, honestly. Um, okay, so I'm going to put some bulkhead back here toward the back, and I'm going to go back to the very back. Let's see, where is it? Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and, well, actually I don't need to do that. I can go all the way to the back with this bulkhead, and I'm going to give our ship polyline, and I don't know how wide it is specifically, but nope, no. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to select this and the guy, and I'm going to group it, and I'm going to put it toward the middle. Even though I could leave it on one side and give it a nice Millennium Falcon, side cockpit look, but it doesn't have a cockpit, it's got a bridge. So that's the middle-esque, middle-isk, and so there's that. Okay, so now we've got the middle close to it. So I'm going to zoom in. No, I'm not. Where am I going? I'm not zooming into anything. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to put a bulkhead wall polyline. I'm going to start, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go here. For goodness sake. And polyline. Okay, and I'm going to click. What would be the best way to do this? Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a thing there. Not what I wanted at all. Okay, get rid of that guy. Okay, so what I'm going to do, finally, is I'm going to go up here to 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 large blocks. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go down straight at a straight diagonal. I'm going to do that. No, that's not the middle. Okay, I'm going to go down by 2. Well, I can go here, which is down 2 and over 4. So that'll work. Then I go 1, 2, and there's the bridge. There's the bridge, and then 1, 2 to there, and then to there. Is that right? No, that is right. That is correct. Right there. and huh, hit escape, which I shouldn't have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I apologize for my. See, I told you I was incompetent. Okay, so we over to, and then there's the bridge line, and then 2 more to give us that. Then over 4, down 2. There's our bulkhead. Now we'll zoom in on it, and isn't it lovely? Isn't it lovely? I am not Stevie Wonder. Okay, so uh, keeping the same type of panel. First thing I want to do is I want to select this bulkhead and give it a long shadow. There we go. And then our layers once again. And then I'm going to go to the polygon. Is that to say polygon? Yeah, polygon. And I'm going to select our same panel theme. And one of the great things about this program is it's so easy to switch between um, the the various mods. It is seamless and it is super simple, and um, it's just easy as pie. Put it under the bulkhead, and that gives us a fairly decent compartment, as you can see. Well, it's not. That's not necessarily one compartment. Um, it's just this is the basic floor of the ship. So I'm going to go back to the P taboo tech, and we've got our main. I'll go with objects here. Okay, now this is an interesting thing. This is an interesting thing. I noticed that many of the tokens, not tokens, but many of the objects had this toon size uh, consideration. They had the toon size label, and actually every single one of these things says toon size on it. And I'm thinking, what could this possibly mean? Uh, Toon size. Well, it seemed fairly obvious to me that maybe the scale of these objects weren't properly set, or by either the developer, or it just by nature, to allow you, the user, or me, the user, to do so, which is, it's, on one hand, it's kind of a bother, it's kind of bothersome, but on the other hand, it's not. It's actually kind of cool to be able to decide what it is. Plus, if I had not seen this, I would have never figured out that there was a way to change the scale of the various objects. So, with this, let's see, we got massive console. Okay, well, if it's a massive console, then it should be pretty big. So, after not being able to see anything on the screen about tuning size, I decided, and when I was teaching computer classes, I would tell my students that the secrets of the universe are under the right mouse button, and to get them used to the idea of right clicking to find out, it's that context sensitive menu thing, and to get them used to the idea of right clicking to find things. So, in order to do so, I decided to right click. And there is remove, fill selected, and tune size, a little menu. Now, this program is kind of interesting in that right clicking is not it's not all over everything. Um, like I'm right clicking on this stuff, nothing is happening, but I right click on some stuff and it happens. So there are things that give you the right click option, and this is one of them. This is, let's see here, bike generator. Not on a ship this size. You'd have to have at least 2 bike generators. Um, so with this, I'm gonna go here and get something uh, that is actually scaled properly, which in this case shall be the mighty throne. Okay, so this throne is scaled properly, as you can see. It's a chair, and it fills 1 5-foot gap, a 1 5-foot space. Back to the P taboo, and we got consoles, crates, floor decals, lights, main. So much stuff. I love it. Vehicles misc. Oh, we have misc vehicles. Sweet. Yeah, it's the first time I've seen this. That's cool. Starships. What? Okay. So, back to barrels, boxes, bodies, cantina, um, cantina table. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, back here to this, we have a console. Let's see, is this a chair? Looks like it is a chair. Um, okay, we'll tune the size of said chair. Now check that out. That looks, actually that's one, this is 1 square. And with this interface, you can see exactly what scale it's going to be. And let's see if I'm gonna drag it a little bit. Drag it. So I think that's correct. Now it is tuned to scale, to size, because you can see it does not have a thing in it anymore. I'm going to flip it 180 and put it next to that throne, and that looks pretty good. So um, that's the console. It's a good pilot's console. So I'm going to go 1 by 1, and this is also a chair. That's a chair, so that should be 1, I believe. Now let's try that out. Go here, and lo and behold, actually it goes that way. There's our chair. The size has been thusly tuned. Being a musician, I'm all about tuning. All about that tuning. Whoop, there we go. So, well, let's see. First of all, let's check that out. See, this one looks a bit smaller. So I'm going to tune the size of it. And I'm going to make it a bit larger. Let's see what that does. Let's flip it. It still needs to be larger. Is that, could that possibly be? No, that's actually worse. There we go. There we go. I think that's right. I was going the wrong way with it. See, that made it a better scale. See, as long as these chairs are the same size. And that one's a little bit too small. So, and then I'm going to go through and do each one. That might be a little bit big. It is. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to make it this way more or this way more. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So again, man, I I just love this program. So it's so freaking easy. Very intuitive, I would say. I don't even know what that is, so that's the size it should be. That looks good. It could probably be bigger if you want it. I mean, that's an alien thing, so it could be whatever size you want. But that's how you change the size. So pretty cool, I'm a thinking. And that's a console. That's a big freaking console. It's far bigger than it should be. So I'm going to tune it and make it smaller. Nope, that's, yeah. Wow. Okay, let's see if that's small enough. Nope. I'm going to make it even smaller. Oh, that's sort of what I was after. I guess that's as small as it can be, legitimately. Okay. Now this monster. What even is that? It's supposed to be a massive console. Oh, I see what it is. How do you get in it? I mean, each one of these guys are displays, so um, I guess each one of those should be sat at with its own chair around the outside. If they are tilted at a, it looks more like they're tilted at a 45-degree angle toward the center, but in reality, I think it's supposed to be a 45-degree angle toward the outside. So if that were the case, then it should actually be a wee bit bigger than it actually is there. So, yeah, perhaps. Okay, well, we will say the size is tuned. So I will go through this one at a time on my own time and change everything around. Uh, then, but very specifically, what I wanted to find was the holding tank. Lights, nice. Main, all the boxes. Medbay. Neon lights, switchboard, robot arm, sweet. Have to put some of those in the engineering. Switchboards, vehicles, miscellaneous, weapons. Um, barrels, boxes, cantina table. You know, oddly, That cantina table right there, larger, would be perfect for what was described as being the alien interface, only bigger. So I'm going to use it because that's what it's for. Okay, so I'm going to place it here. Then I'm going to scale it because I was told that it should be bigger. Um, so I'm going to scale it. Really? Come on, man. Okay, let's do this. I'll grab that. And I'll scale it. And it's not doing anything, which I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Unless I just tune the size, which I don't want to. I don't want to do that because I don't want it to be a permanent change. Um, okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, sorry about that. So what I've done here is I went to the objects bar, the objects button, and up here on the toolbar is a slider. It's a scale slider, and it makes it super easy. Which I should have anticipated the easiness of it, and I was told that it was about 8 foot, 8 foot in diameter, which each one of these is 5 feet, so about like that. And that's good. That's got that. I'll get rid of that guy there. Then I will select him, give him a shadow, excuse me, and pale light, yellow glow, maybe, blue light, yellow glow, bevel. We'll stay with the shadow. Give it a 3D thing. Okay, that looks good. Um, so yeah, that's cool. I like that. That looks so much more like what I was wanting it to be. Now let's go to this presets and see what we got. Now I downloaded a thing called what was it? The effects pack, where smoke and tentacles, torches, and stuff like that. Um, so I suppose, yeah, there's that. Smoke ring, um, air, blood. Okay, bloody, boneyard, boulders, breakwater, canyons. Okay, that's cool. Caves, chasms. Hi, Gary. Um, crackhead earth, cracks. Craters. One looks infected. Um, depressions. Oh, it's just dirt. Wow, there's a lot of them here too. Dirty. Dust. Effects. Horrible. Horrible black void. So yeah. Innovations. Nice. Fire. Oh man, so cool. And I could actually scale that up. There's fire ring. Scale it down. And thankfully, this has a numeric value on the slider, so you can tell exactly how far you've taken it. If you just arbitrarily drag the slider and then try to arbitrarily drag it back to where you started, you probably wouldn't have that much luck. So yeah, and this answers our problem with the engineering room, right? With the explosion, the fire flare. Yeah, yeah, cool. Fireball. Flares. Oh, so nice. Let's see if we can find something that is a wee bit of blue. Right there. Here we go. Wee bit of blue. Tiny. Enlarge. Put a bit of a sparkle in it. There we go. I like that. So kudos to he who made the effects pack. Footprints. Oh, the devil. Remember that legend about the devil in where it was, Pennsylvania, Russia? I don't know. Someplace the devil has footprints. Gosh darn it. Where was it? Where the heck was that? Anyway, gouges, grassy, the graveyard. Put in the grave. Did not to dig a grave in a starship. Unless it is for the ice, islands, lava. Nice. So, lasers. Look out. Oh, wow. The light and lighting. Holy crap, that's cool. Lightning. Yeah. Abby. She knows all about lightning and the detrimental effects on metal bodies thereof. Magic. Okay. So it goes on, apparently, without ending. I like that better. Alien intelligence. Nothing says alien intelligence like a magical blue fireball. Okay. So all these have size tunings necessary. Mosaics. This guy did a lot of work. I'm impressed. I'm hard to impress. No, I'm not hard to impress. I'm hard to please, I think. Because, I can be really impressed on how stupid someone is. Not be pleased at all. Uh, so there you go. Railways, for whatever reason. Ridges, rivers, roads. Rocky. Yo. Alien Rocky. Yo. uh, black, brown, cluster. I'm not even going there. Uh, Foam Rocky, as in the Demolition Man when he turned into a cannoli, if you remember that. Wow, lots of Rockies. Well, there's Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 4. Now there's Creed. Uh, ruins, rocky ruins. Sounds like a really not good flavor of ice cream. Uh, do you have anything in rocky ruins? Rubble. Betty and or Barney. Nice. Very nice. Rust. So you just slap crap on. Oh, scorch marks. We definitely need that. Okay, so let's zoom in. There we go. God darn it. And we're going to turn this here. And let's see, let's put a wee scorch mark. Toon size. We're going to put a wee scorch mark right here. that's where Lisa's character Abby got her hand fried off. Her arm actually. Smoke. Man, you know, half of the fun of this program is just freaking exploring the various patches and such. Because I'm gonna go back into it and okay, overland overlays, terrain overlays, yeah. Waters, bubbles, buttercup, blossom, foam, lakes and puddles. The effects pack is freaking awesome. Okay, so yeah, with that, webs, so nice. Oh my gosh, hopscotch, alien text. Okay, so I don't think that's how aliens would talk at all. If they even use their lips, they may talk via telepathia, um, as the old man in the Sinbad movie said. Um, but yeah, this is very cool. So I am going to go over here now, and we're going to see if I can find some engines. Some engines, games, levers, sci-fi vehicle, sci-fi. And I remember here we are. Engine. Red hot. Okay, so what I believe I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of these engines by 300%. I'm going to stick them to the grid and see if we can't. Copy, paste. Can we paste? Copy. Paste. And paste. Okay, now you see the obvious problem immediately, right? They're not going to be spaceable evenly. So I can do one of a couple of different things. I can unstick them from the grid. The heck? Oh, it's already zoomed way out. I can unstick them from the grid and eyeball them to what is possibly, yeah, that should work. Or another thing I could do is to scale them down a little bit until they fit into the nice pattern. Get in the nice pattern, honey. Those are some pretty big engines. So yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That looks nice. Um, so yeah, Okay. So what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to get more into the. I got to find out from the dungeon master, the game master, whatever you want to call him. I'm going to find out more from him about what is in the engineering bay, how big it actually is. I'm going to show him this particular thing here that I've done, and go from there. And then I'll get back on at some point in time and put the rest of it in. So that will. I know it's also exciting for me. Uh, that way I can I can better do it. And then in the meantime, I'm going to get with the developers and find out about the whole zoom to object concept and how that will work. If we could get that as a install a feature in there, updating, because this is early access, and even with just it being early access, it's pretty phenomenal. Um, if it's not finished, so. Okay, so again, this is Dungeon Painter Studio beta from cryotech.com, I think it is. I said it last night, so that should be good enough. um, and then, of course, uh, uh, I don't even know what I was going to say, but yeah, get with them and tell them we sent you. It's on Steam. Just look for Dungeon Painter Studio, and we're doing the. This is all for a Starfinder campaign that got going on from Paizo, and the Starfinder rules are interesting. I did a review of that. It was kind of a I don't know. I guess it was. I think it was kind of a cursory review, just kind of a first impressions and that like that. And the more we play it, the more we learn about it. Um, there are some things that I think are really good, and other things that are not. And the one thing about Starfinder that I still I don't know if any game has gotten auto fire correct, or it's hard to say what's correct, but you know and I've said this before, is that game balance is not the point. Or it is the point. It's they say the guns are the great equalizer. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to. I mean, gun designers, developers actually try to make their guns better than the enemies. That's the entire idea of warfare, is to be better than your enemy so you can kill them, or scare them bad enough that you don't have to kill them. That's the thing. That's the name of the game. Um, and they say all's fair in love and war, which is moderately. It's not, but it's at least accurate, because um, if you've got something like, if game balance was a thing, guns wouldn't even have been invented. We'd still be fighting with swords, and we would all have the exact same swords. Um, So I don't understand what this crap about game balance preservation is all about. When you're talking about terms of weaponry, because weapons are very specifically designed to not be balanced. It's common freaking sense. And the people, apparently up on my soapbox now. But people who try to adjust the rules to maintain balance don't care about realism. They don't care about reality, and they don't. Some of them may have never actually picked up a firearm and used it. Um, the varying calibers, the varying actions, like the bolt action, the lever action, the single action, double action, semi-auto, fully auto, burst fire, binary triggers, bump stocks, all that stuff is designed very specifically to give the shooter an edge, yeah, of a sort. And you know, saying, well, you've got a bump stock, so you can't do as much damage per round, is bullcrap. It's totally garbage. Um, and that's what I'm saying. Their rules for auto fire are decent, but there's different, and I'll suppose I could go into this at some point in time in more depth, but maybe next time I'll do that, and I'll actually make a note of that. So that is what I've got for tonight, and uh, it's in the very near future. I'm going to be using. Paizo sent me a copy of Kingmaker, which is their Pathfinder single player RPG computer game, which I've taken a look at it. I haven't actually played it yet, so I'm going to be learning it as I'm streaming it. And I haven't watched. I've intentionally not watched any videos on it, so um, I want to go into it fresh with clean eyes and see what it's all about. So that's it for tonight. On behalf of the entire cast and crew of the Dwarven Tavern, we want you to want for nothing but adventure. We wish for you to want for nothing but adventure. And at first I feared it, then I charged. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.